I'm Dave McHugh for D3Hoops.com and Hoopsville, and I'm joined by Washington Lee head coach Adam Hutchinson. Big win yet again. The 11 seed continues on in the ODAC tournament, this time a big win over Guilford in a game that you guys seem to be in control of much of it.
Yeah, we played a pretty good first half, and we got a lead, and it's tough against those guys because they shoot the ball so well and they handle the ball so well that you have to stay efficient throughout. So, I feel like I aged about 10 years in the last 6 minutes of that second half. But, we weathered the storm. We got a win, and we get a chance to play tomorrow.
And the interesting thing was every time they seemed to have you stop, they'd lose one of your guys. You'd get a release down court, and that seemed to be just enough, the pressure release, as it were, to force them into a decision that kept you to hold on the lead.
Well, that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
There were some mistakes we made where we didn't get those releases, and that's what kept the game or allowed the game to get as tight as it was. But, again, we did enough to get the W. We took what we worked on and what we put on the whiteboard, and we put it out on the floor. We executed it, and so, it was a good quality win for us.
Maybe for a team who doesn't have the experience or really isn't in this kind of scenario a lot of poise at the end. The team didn't really stress. They didn't seem to panic under the pressure that Guilford was showing, especially in the full court. They just got the job done.
Yeah, we work against pressure a lot in practice, so, it wasn't anything we hadn't seen before. And the guys, we're really locked in. We're really focused. We're playing hard. We're playing smart. We're playing together. So, we've seen everything through the course of the year we're going to see. And it's just a matter of recognizing it and making the right decision.
Drew Kimberly with 24 points, Andrew Franz with 10 rebounds, 17 points. Those guys inside really made a difference.
Yeah, they're a tough combination in there. Franz is really effective inside and out. Drew can post up. He can drive for a big kid. So they give us a really nice punch. A guy who probably doesn't show up very much on the stat sheet but was really instrumental in the win was Kevin Gill. He's probably had a subpar year for him statistically, but in this little win streak here, he's been phenomenal defensively for us. And, he's put us in a position to take advantage of some things.
I was going to say, you guys, this win streak, you got a big win to get into this event anyway, being the 11 seed. Now you get a big win over Guilford. Certainly you guys would love to keep rolling along with that, but that's something even you can build on into next season.
Yeah, one of the things I really enjoy about working at W&L is the guys are so into the school and the fact that it's going to be their alma mater. And so all the guys on our team want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and they're very cognizant of what they do now provides a platform to build on moving forward. I think they take a lot of pride in the program, a lot of pride in seeing guys grow up in the program. So, this does give us a platform to build on.
You're not that far away from campus, a simple drive, as it were, versus some like Virginia Wesleyan, 4.5 hours. You guys chose not to take the shoot around in here. You chose to come in on your own, so thus you didn't see the sight lines, and yet you guys still shot well. Didn't seem like the arena really got the best of you guys.
Well, we have class today, so, we wanted to go to school. But, our gym has a pretty open background, and at the end of the day, the rim's still the same distance and the same height. So we didn't have to come in and do a Hoosiers and measure the rims or anything. We came in, we made shots, made good decisions, played tough D, we got to win.
Of course, now up next is Virginia Wesleyan, who certainly had a good game against Bridgewater. Certainly you've seen these teams throughout the season. There are no real surprises, but how do you think you match up with the Marlins?
Nobody matches up with those guys. They're so fast, and DJ Woodmore is one of the probably 3 best players I've seen since I've been in the league. And certainly, there have been a lot of talented guys over the years. One of the things that really impressed me about him is from the first time I saw him play, he plays the game the right way. Sometimes guys can, I got to score, I don't trust my teammates. And, whenever I watch him play, he just always does the right thing. He hits guys when they're open, he plays great D, he's a terrific rebounder. And it seems to me that team is following his lead. And all those guys are saying, hey, if he can do it, we can do it. So they're very dangerous. But, like anybody else, any given day they can be taken down.
Pretty vocal fan group following you guys tonight. You got to figure that's going to be bigger on Saturday. How much does that help the team?
It helps a lot. As I said before, our guys are really into, being at W&L, and there's a tremendous sense of community within the school. And so, I've seen over the years, we play better in front of our fans. We play better in front of our peers. So it means a lot when they show.
Maybe you have a little bit of a home court advantage being so close to the Salem Civic Center tomorrow.
It's possible. It's possible. My kids are going to be here, so I got 2 supporters, and they'll be cheering.
That's sometimes just good enough.
Yeah.
Adam Hutchinson from Washington Lee. Again, the 11 seed in the ODAC tournament continues to march along. Dare we say Cinderella? Well, we'll wait a little bit. They do have Virginia Wesleyan ahead in the semifinals, which is certainly a terrific spot to be if you're a Generals fan. Adam Hutchinson, I'm Dave McHugh for D3Hoops.com in Hoopsville.
Thanks, Dave.